Okay, so I just got out of seeing Wish. Now, I know this movie is very controversial because a lot of people have been saying that it doesn't matter that it has a villain song. Sometimes that people have been saying that essentially at a certain point, it doesn't matter if a movie's trying to be respectful to old animation just through its style. If a movie is so bland and not unique in the slightest, then it can't make up with that with good animation and cool shots. And as much as I think that not every movie has to be special, sometimes just being an enjoyable tribute to Disney is good, I was a bit worried because I was like, well, not all the Disney revival movies were good, even when they... So it doesn't just matter how you do the fact that you do a tribute, it also matters how you do it. And sometimes Disney had made good subversions where the subversions weren't just making things different for the sake of being different or subversive for the sake of being subversive, but when they actually served narrative purpose and made the movie better, such as but still didn't feel like they were being disrespectful. They were being different, but still felt like they were being respectful to the Disney brand. And then there are movies that try to be like tributes, like Princess and the Frog, but then they decided, hey, I'm just going to be such a tribute that it focused everything on the 2D animation, the spectacle, that it didn't even once think, hey, how to tell a good story. So I went in skeptical, but there have been a lot of movies that people just didn't gel with, but I'm more open-minded because maybe I'm a kid, maybe it's just because I'm a kid and cliches don't bother me, or just because I'm that kind of person to enjoy a wider range of movies. So I went in asking the movies to surprise me. And did it surprise me? Yes, it fucking did. Not only is this a great tribute, not only is it so simple and so so simple and so not over complicated that its simplicity and tribute reminded me of the days of Tangled. Not only did it have good animation, not only is it a good tribute to Disney, not only is it one of the best Disney revival movies that honestly beats Wreck-It Ralph in that department. Fucking Wreck-It Ralph. But the villain was really, really good. And at the end, all those references didn't feel cringy and cynical. They felt like the movie knew that it wasn't anything different, but it works as a tribute. And those small references still allowed this movie to work as its own thing and a good Disney tribute at the same time. And then at the end, when the credits rolled and the music didn't try to be overindulgent, it was just quiet music that showed star-painted clips of the entire Disney canon. Dude, I legitimately almost shed a tear at that point because it didn't feel cynical like Ralph Breaks the Internet, where it prioritizes references over a good story to the point that it killed the overall experience. No, it didn't feel like product placement for the sake of product placement, because unlike Ralph Breaks the Internet, where it's just a bunch of Disney things that Disney owns, this is less look at all the things we own and look at all the things we made. The studio. Say what you will. People can have their opinions if this movie is not for you and it's too simplistic and you prefer subversive movies like Frozen for their fun songs and cool animation, that's fine. But in my opinion, this movie is miles ahead of Frozen. It truly reminded me that Disney, despite its corporate faults, despite some creative troubles, is at its heart still a good company. And when Disney was really committed to make a good tribute movie, Disney went and made it. Disney went and made a tribute that I will be talking about again in my Disney Revival ranking and my best of 2023. But like I said, opinions are valid. If you don't like this movie because you think that it's too simple, that's fine. If you like Frozen because it's a cute subversion with good songs and good animation, that's fine. And while I think that despite its corporate faults, Disney committed to make a good tribute movie, just because it's a good tribute doesn't mean everyone has to like that. So I know that a lot of people are like, well, you can't force other people's opinions, you can't get mad, and I just want to let you know this right away. First of all, I never actually get mad at other people's opinions. In my Turning Red review as part of my Pixar ranking, when I said, come on, do people really think that it's too weird to be good? This was less of me being mad at those people personally and more of me just expressing my opinion. I should have clarified that at the end, because I am not against people who don't like it. If they think that the cringiness, that they understand what the movie was going for, but they think that the cringiness outweighs the emotional beats, and that they don't think the cringiness contributes to anything and it's just not for them, that's fine. If Luca is not for you because it's too simple, that's fine. If The Fabelmans is not for you, that is fine. And keep in mind, I am saying this as someone whose Fabelmans in my top 10 favorite movies of all time, but if it's not for you, that's fine. And same applies for Wish. If it's not for you, that is fine. And I will say this, while I feel like Frozen, Big Hero 6, and Zootopia do lose points because they are a bit too complicated, and while it doesn't feel like they're being straight up mean to the Disney brand and just subversive for the sake of being subversive, you could tell there's a clear passion behind the social commentary in Zootopia, behind the princess trope subversion in Frozen, and behind the grief themes of Big Hero 6. It just didn't feel the best way executed. But I'm not the type of guy. I don't think a movie is more than the sum of its parts. Just because a movie has one element that I don't like doesn't detract from my overall experience. Just like I said with this movie, a movie doesn't have to be special. A movie doesn't have to be groundbreaking. Even if a movie fails in some regards to the point that I can't call it a masterpiece, it can have other things that make it good overall. Frozen may have a terrible twist villain that feels like she was thrown in at the last moment and just evil for the sake of the message without having her own character, but it still has fun characters, they have a fun dynamic, and it doesn't feel like it detracts for the overall experience. Big Hero 6 may have poorly executed its themes, but the attempt still shines through, and it's still a fun superhero movie that I really like in spite of its faults. And Frozen is a movie. At the end of the day, we just have to accept that we teens and adults can like what we like, and kids can like what we like. That's what these movies are for: balance. And despite the fact that those three, because of their complicated nature, aren't my favorite Disney movies for their problems, overall, I still think that they are good movies. Scratch that. Big Hero 6 and Zootopia are good. Frozen is whatever. I don't really care about it. I don't like it that much. But Big Hero 6 and Zootopia are good movies in spite of their faults. I like them. And the same thing with Wish. I think that Wish, despite being less like ambitious than the trilogy of overcomplicated Disney movies, and those have elements over it, and Big Hero 6 is the action, and Zootopia is the character dynamics, and in Frozen it's the songs. Overall, because of its simplicity and because of how the sheer Disney reference at the end didn't feel cynical, it legitimately made me remember all of my Disney experience as a child, and legitimately almost made me shed a tear that Disney did this good at their 100th anniversary and didn't fail. I liked it more than those three movies combined. And as a result, I give Wish an 8 out of 10.